Hello everyone, it's great to see you all here today. Wow, what a turnout. Thousands and thousands of all of you here standing for life. Thank you, Wendy, for the introduction, and thank you to the Pro-Life Campaign for inviting me here to speak. As Wendy mentioned, I've worked as a family physician for over 20 years, and I've been privileged and humbled to be involved in helping support women throughout their pregnancies. I want to start my speech with a biblical quote which has always inspired me as a mother and as a doctor. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I will give thanks to you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. Ireland's abortion law defines abortion as a procedure intended to end the life of a fetus. Everything you and I need to know about the law passed in 2018 is contained in that definition. It explicitly states that the sole purpose of an abortion under the law is to end the life of a baby. There is no mention in the definition of it being about health care or treating a condition to help the woman. Yet, when government representatives talk about the new law, they keep referring to it as a health care provision, knowing full well that the new abortion regime has nothing whatsoever to do with genuine health care. Health care is about saving lives, not ending them. Health care is about healing, not harming. It is really sad the ease with which some politicians mislead the public by the way they talk about the issue. But it is even more objectionable the way these same politicians compel doctors to lie to their patients and pretend that abortion is health care when we know full well that it is nothing of the sort. A lie repeated often enough risks becoming perceived as truth. This is the law of propaganda. So the lie being repeated is describing abortion as health care. Health care is always about healing and about saving lives, and it is never about harming or ending lives. As the Pro-Life Campaign said in its statement last week, the entire 3-year review process will be remembered as one of the most politicized and partisan reviews ever undertaken by an Irish government. On the issue of freedom of conscience for healthcare workers, last week's report contains several recommendations that, if approved, would effectively do away with all freedom of conscience protections and would coerce doctors to both facilitate and participate in abortions in violation of their conscience. The manner in which the government is forcing hospitals currently not carrying out abortions to immediately start doing so is a cruel and unjust abuse of power. I have a question for the Minister for Health, Stephen Donnelly. Minister, are you saying that doctors must ignore all the peer-reviewed research highlighting the potentially adverse mental health consequences of abortion for women, and disregard their clinical experience as doctors in order to fulfill their duties under an abortion law that is most definitely not rooted in evidence-based medicine. It's a straight yes or no answer, Minister. The government cannot duck this question. The very least hard-working, conscientious healthcare workers are entitled to is a clear answer from the government on such an important issue. No more obfuscation and sidestepping the issue. I can assure everyone here today that there are hundreds, indeed thousands, of doctors in Ireland who are not prepared to break the bond of trust they have established with their patients, and they are not prepared and these doctors are not prepared to start lying to them by pretending that abortion is healthcare, regardless of what pressure the government exerts upon us. The government's report on the 3-year review also recommends introducing a statutory obligation on healthcare workers to refrain from providing misinformation to women assessing abortion. Every fair-minded citizen should be opposed to genuine misinformation, but it's very clear from the wording of the recommendation that the statutory obligation would only apply to pro-life healthcare workers. It is an outrageous form of discrimination and prejudice to single out a particular group of healthcare professionals and propose introducing a statutory obligation to control how they care for and communicate with their patients. Under such a framework, who would decide what constitutes misleading information? And why are doctors who favour abortion not being held to the same standard? The government has a duty to immediately clarify that no statutory obligation of this kind will be introduced, and they should immediately apologise to pro-life doctors for the despicable and targeted slur on their honesty and integrity that is contained in the set of recommendations. Legal abortion up to birth for any reason could only succeed in an environment where all opposing voices are silenced. Pro-life doctors and healthcare professionals stand here today with all of you to let our government know we will not be silenced. The measure of a society is how we protect the most vulnerable members of it. Your presence here today shows our legislators that we will continue to stand for women and their unborn babies. I want to thank everyone here today for your wonderful support. I see so many young people here full of hope and courage. I see so many families, fathers, mothers with their children, grandparents, aunts and uncles, all standing for life. Thank you for coming today, and I ask you to continue to stand in solidarity with healthcare workers seeking proper freedom of conscience protections in law. Freedom of conscience protections need to be strengthened, not further eroded. You are warriors, warriors for life, standing up for women and their babies. And to all my fellow warriors, we are going to keep fighting, and we will never stop until our goal is reached. Go raibh míle maith agaibh go léir agus beannacht dé live. Thank you for listening, and thank you for being here. May God bless each and every one of you.